So, I think at Shippo, where we've been able to really create value for merchants, regardless of, whether you're shipping 10 or 10,000. And as those merchants get bigger, so taking 3PL as an example, at that point, we are truly providing that infrastructure, right? Because like a 3PL, they reliability and latency becomes very critical to those types of customer segments.
Right.
And added second or multi-second where there's a delay in label creation, that could mean significant issues from a productivity perspective for the people that are on the ground picking and packing. So, it's really that creating that value and serving that customer, meeting them where their needs are across the various different platforms that we've built and created.
Yeah, and then just speaking to it on the carrier side, obviously there is a really pleasant not only experience as it relates to working with your team to get onboarded and integrated to your platform. So your team will reach out to respective carriers, will have the appropriate partner conversation, at least, or the carrier partner conversations based off of my experience. And then we had the opportunity to work, quite diligently with your team, test with your team. So it was a great experience. And then, once integrated, this opens up a whole world of opportunity for us carriers to effectively become another choice for merchants and for shippers, and to provide an alternative set of delivery capabilities outside of the global carriers that many folks are most familiar with. So one of the things that you mentioned there as well is that, and it's kind of in the spirit of this conversation so far, is just sort of the rapidly evolving set of expectations, and then in turn, in my mind, that's what drives a lot of the capabilities and bringing those online. One of the things that you mentioned, you talked about was tracking. I feel like we could talk about tracking for days on end if we needed to. But can you highlight some of the other sort of capabilities you mentioned, sort of shipping elements? Any other things that are worth calling out in terms of just the overall sort of value prop and how your technology is evolving or will continue to evolve?
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think so I talked a little bit about how the access that we provide to the various customer segments that we serve, and there are different ways in which they can leverage our technology. And when they do, they have the ability to get access to, well, first of all, our wide carrier network, including national and regional carriers. And just using Better Trucks as an example, right? I think we've really been able, through this partnership, to be able to provide that seamless integration to that shipper, right? They can just bring their credentials, Better Trucks credentials, and get started and start shipping right away, right? So I think that's one example. But shippers, once they leverage our technology, they have access to rate shopping. They can create labels. They can also connect their orders from other channels. So they might be working on Shopify or Wix. They can bring those orders onto our platform. They can print labels both on the outbound side, on the return side. So really, it unlocks a variety of different features on the shipper side. And as I think about it, from a carrier's perspective, really where Shippo is able to add value there is, well, first of all, I talked about the seamless integration, but then, even outside of that, really bringing that acquisition, right? And partnering with the carriers and driving growth and retention on the platform. And then, one of the other things that I will highlight here is, obviously on your end, right, you're launching a lot of innovative features, and we are able to unlock those capabilities to the rest of the merchants that are on our platform. So hundreds and thousands of merchants, we're able to unlock those capabilities and bring that innovation to them through our platform. So I think it creates this really nice way to really connect the dots between both the shipper and the carrier, and bringing capabilities really to either side through that connection that we're building within the ecosystem.